ready for another lesson?
What is up, everybody? Welcome
Howdy.
to episode number 10, baby. We're in the double digits. Double digits, baby.
Heyo.
Heyo. We might sound a little bit different. Do we? Do we sound different, guys?
Let us know. Tweet at us.
Probably. The reason being, well, should we intro the first and let's intro first and then
who
then
are
we'll
we,
get to
bro?
it. Yeah, well, this is Back Row Banter, your favorite keeping it casual movie talk podcast. I am your host, Adam Schwartz. Today on the show, we got some news for you. The new live action Avatar series has lost its original creators. A few other news stories for you. Unfortunately, no trailer talk this week because nothing really dropped worth mentioning.
They're not
We sort of have new to streaming. I'll get to that in a bit. We'll get to what we're watching for the week, and then our main review is going to be Project Power. Superhero. What was it from last week?
Superpower and
Superpowers
a
and a pill.
Superpowers.
But before we get to any of that, joining me today, I would say to my left, but you're like
far left.
How far away? Far left. Is the Rev, Nathaniel Gingrich.
Thank you. Yeah, that's I'm official now. I did the marriage this weekend, so.
Oh, did you really? How'd that go?
Congrats on that. It was really fun.
Yeah, how'd that go?
Really well. So.
That's good. Time. Glad to hear it.
It was really pretty. Yeah.
Oh, all right. Alrighty.
Yeah, good job, Joe.
And that sultry voice over there is the cabin man himself, my boss, Tyler Badellis. Tony Stark.
What's going on?
Tony Stark.
Cabin in the Woods.
Cabin in the Woods. And
if we ever decide to release video at some point, you'll understand why he called me Tony Stark.
I think we are releasing video.
Not for this one.
What you don't know is I'm secretly.
I'm not recording the video. So if you are, that's the props to you, Nathaniel. I haven't figured that out yet.
All of you, the time.
Oh, okay.
Brother.
Last but not least, it's Big Cat Blake. Big Cat Blake, what up?
What's going on, man? Dude, I love this name so much more than having the title porn in my name.
Torture porn guy.
No one was calling the porn enthusiast. The torture porn, it was together. It was never separate.
Big porn guy.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, I think this is a much better adept name.
All right. Well, Big Cat Blake, do you have a Big Cat fact for us, or are we going to save that for later?
We'll get to it, man. We'll get to it.
All right. We'll get around to a little Big Cat Blake break.
So on my standard dive right on YouTube, just kind of looking at some stuff, video games, obviously came across some Big Cat stuff. Okay. What I learned this week were that jaguars are statistically, right, the most, what's the word? They have the highest percentage, right, of positive hunting rates. And that's because they're the most diverse, right, where they can swim, they can climb trees, where a lot of big cats aren't really into swimming and getting in the water. Jaguars will kind of get in. They'll eat caiman, fish.
So they're just killers.
River otters, all types of stuff.
So they'll just eat anything. Fuck.
Killing machines. Yep.
That's already. I'm loving these big cat facts.
Really
to be honest.
Thank you, man.
It used to be like a
do we? I'll work on that. You know what? I'll get back to you guys on that. I'm gonna work on the stinger. Yeah. So we may sound a little bit different to the consistent listeners who have listened to episodes 1 through 9. Thank you, by the way, for doing so. The reason being is I am now in college and am away from the table of the back row table. I'm away. Away from the boys. So we are recording remotely. This is going to be the first episode we're doing it, and there's definitely going to be a bit of a learning curve. I would say
some changes are coming.
Yeah, we hopefully sound better. I can't guarantee that because I don't know how this is going to sound. We hopefully sound better. I know personally from listening back to the episodes that I sound very quiet myself a lot of the times. So hopefully I sound better because I feel like as the host it might be helpful. I mean, I just think it might be helpful if you guys can hear me, but maybe not. You never know.
Let us know.
Yeah. Let us know how we sound. Let us know if there's anything, any issues or anything like that, because we are open to feedback since we need it. Because, can't just keep critiquing ourselves. We'll get nowhere. Alrighty. Are you guys ready to get into the news?
Let's do it, man.
Let's get it.
Well, we starting off with a sad one, boys. At least
Yeah,
it
this
was sad to
sucks.
me. So Avatar: The Last Airbender live action creation that's coming to Netflix has lost the original showrunners, the original creators. So the original creators being Michael DeMartino and Brian I don't know how to pronounce that. Konietzko? Do any of you guys tie in? You guys are the Avatar guys.
Konitsko.
Okay, we're just gonna call him Brian. Well, Michael and Brian
K.
Michael and Brian here were on board since 2018. Apparently, since 2018, even though the news came out only a few months ago, that with Netflix to make a live-action Avatar series. That was supposed to be following the original show, correct? Or was it going to be a recreation?
I think it's an straight up adaptation.
Straight up adaptation. Yeah. Okay.
Translation.
Yeah, but they have since in the past few days, the past week, they have since left the project. Got a quote from Michael DeMartino here. This is the story's coming from the Hollywood Reporter as well, just so you guys know. And it says, when Brian and I signed up. Let me start that over. When Brian and I signed on to the project in 2018, we were hired as executive producers and showrunners. In a joint announcement for the series, Netflix said that it was committed to honoring our vision for this retelling and to supporting us on creating the series. And we expressed how excited we were for the opportunity to be at the helm. Unfortunately, things did not go as we had hoped. And then following that, Brian K, however you pronounce that last name, also wrote in his post on Instagram, the general handling of the project created what I felt was a negative and non-supportive environment, he said, adding, to be clear, this was not a simple matter of us not getting our way. Mike and I are very collaborative people. We did not need all of the ideas to come from us. As long as we felt those ideas were in line with the spirit and integrity of Avatar, we would have happily embraced them. However, we ultimately came to the belief that we would not be able to meaningfully guide the direction of the series. So, it looks like creative differences.
Yeah, pretty damn
sad.
Yeah, this blows.
Yeah, so this is something we reported on.
Fucked it up.
Yeah,
I really think they should just either apologize and bring him back, or probably just postpone this.
Yeah, it's surprising.
I have a feeling it's gonna end up like the first time it did.
Mm-hmm. It's surprising coming from Netflix. I feel like they've been pretty open with working with creators in the past, at least from what I haven't seen a lot, but like there haven't been a ton of these things happening with Netflix. It's been more like Disney and stuff like that with Marvel. So the fact that this is coming from Netflix, I feel like they've been pretty true to just letting creators do what they want. I mean, Stranger Things, that has seemingly gone in the directions the showrunners wanted and everything like that. So
except for
interesting to
being
see
forced to write the second season so quickly, I think. But
besides that, but yeah, it's definitely really sad. I mean, as somebody who just got into Avatar, I was actually kind of getting excited for this. And
we don't know that it won't be good still.
Yeah, it very well could be. But did they make the live action movie with the original creators? Was that them?
No, that was M. Night Shyamalan.
Yeah,
absolutely
exactly.
not.
So
these guys have been burning.
He's got a handful of
so maybe that goes, a big part of it into that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. It's just really sad because I was hoping they would be able to do what they wanted with it. Because they definitely have a vision for it. Seems Blake, you've been trying to cut in here. Sorry.
Yeah, real quick, while you guys brought up M. Night, I mean, how do you guys feel about his films? I mean, I feel like a lot of his stuff's kind of controversial. Some people like him.
I've still never seen The Sixth Sense.
Really?
What? Yeah. It just slipped through. I never
seen it.
Kind of disrespectful coming from you.
That might be one we have to get to. For sure. Yeah.
I'd be down. I think it kind of just depends on his movies. I like some of his movies. I dislike some of his movies, but for the most part, I overall like him. But you're right, he doesn't hit with everyone. Every one of his movies. Ty, what do you come?
Yeah, I actually, okay. The Village is probably like one of those ones that I can like kind of stand, and some people are like, "This is just a god awful movie. I'll never turn it on." But yeah, I think he's got some okay stuff, but more bad stuff than good stuff.
Yeah, is M. Night Devil M. Night Shyamalan? Okay.
I almost watched that last
night. He's
also
on he's on Signs, and like you can't take
Signs
that away from right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Like
Signs is great.
So he's got That's probably his biggest.
The story that always kind of kicked around film school was that Shyamalan had written Sixth Sense when he was in film school, and then he basically worked on it the entire time he was there. So he was constantly submitting and resubmitting and submitting and resubmitting and getting it workshopped. And then he came out of school and finally made it. And it was so popular that everyone saw him as this great writer. Well, then he never had anyone revising his work for him or giving him criticism anymore. So then his writing really kind of suffered.
That's a very wild theory, but I could see that very well happening.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a story.
Yeah, no, that would make sense though. I could definitely see that being the case, because I haven't seen Sixth Sense, but the writing in his other movies aren't like amazing. But if Sixth Sense is really well written, I could see how that could be the case.
Yeah, it's pretty. From what I understand, it's pretty well written. Like that's kind of the big thing about it. And Signs, I think, is too. I think he had more to say with Signs than kind of some of the other movies.
I'd agree with that.
Split was decent. I like Split.
That's
Split was pretty good.
Have you guys seen Lady in the Water?
Mm-hmm,
That or not? Yeah, he's got some out there movies, man, for sure.
He's made some interesting choices.
Yeah.
Is he the one that did The Visit?
Yes, that's also.
Yep.
Okay, I need to watch that. I've heard that's really good.
Is that found footage?
I think so.
I think it might be.
Look that up. You might be right.
Is The Visit?
Speaking of that, though, I did watch. Once we get to what we're watching, I did watch this week, so I might retract that statement.
Sorry, what did you say? You cut out for me.
Oh yeah, I was saying. Speaking of found footage, I did watch a few found footage. So once we get to what we're watching,
all right, yeah, we'll get to what we're watching. I just googled if The Visit is found footage, and I guess it is considered found footage.
Yeah, that's the one where they go to like their grandparents' house, right? The little kids or whatever.
Yeah. All right, well, moving on from Avatar. I mean, I know we got a little sidetracked there, but moving on from Avatar. Next news story is Unhinged and SpongeBob movie mark revival of North American box office. So this week and the next 2 weeks or so, more and more theaters are going to be reopening across Canada. Is the one they mentioned in this article from Hollywood Reporter, that Canada's slowly starting to reopen a lot of their theaters.
That's part of North America too.
Yeah, because it doesn't specify United States. It's talking about North America. And then I think in Mexico City, I think I saw that they've also actually started reopening a little bit. But then in the U.S., I think only 42 states have cleared theaters to reopen. New York and California not being one.
Gotcha.
But yeah, so the story basically, it ran over the openings of the SpongeBob movie and Unhinged, the two movies that were opened with the theaters, and they had rather low box office weekends. So SpongeBob has earned an estimated 900,000 from 300 runs in Canada, where theaters are operating at 50% capacity. And then Unhinged grossed an estimated 582,000 from 299 runs for a Canadian distributor. So definitely not the numbers I'm sure either of these movies were hoping for.
Tenet or whatever you call it. You know, these movies I don't necessarily. Well, definitely Unhinged. SpongeBob, you would think, but I didn't even know there was a SpongeBob movie coming out. But anyways.
I didn't either, to be honest.
I think they got two things going for them, right? The one is that they're gonna have a clear run. They're not gonna have to worry about other movies coming out. These movies are gonna be in theaters for probably the next 6 months, just playing on an endless loop. And two,
probably.
You know, they're not as big of movies, and they can still make up a lot of revenue again here. Because again, if they the other side of that is if they release these on VOD in like 3 weeks, I don't think they also may make more money that way too. But yeah,
that's true.
I kind of went on a rant there.
I feel like SpongeBob would definitely be one of those movies that would have benefited from VOD release. Yeah, it's just like anything under $1 million. I feel like even the lowest quality movies expect at least $1 million at the box office, especially.
I don't think anyone knew these came out.
I had no idea SpongeBob.
No, I agree with you. I'm not saying it's like a huge failure because obviously of all the circumstances, but it's just like it's disappointing. I feel like could have been a little bit more than 900 and 582, but we'll see how that keeps going as more and more theaters reopen and stuff like that. But not, I was just hoping for theaters are reopen. Everybody goes to the movies. Those are not the numbers. Less than 1 million. Those are not the numbers I was kind of expecting or hoping to see. But hopefully, we see it when Tenet eventually comes out to theaters. I think that
sure. And does it say what parts of Canada it is? Because if it's like Manitoba or something like that,
it did not specify as far as I saw.
Where there's like 5 people to a town.
Yeah.
No, it just said said across Canada, really.
Okay,
and
so it could also be like not Toronto or
that's
something.
True.
Like that.
Yeah. And I also don't know how much box office. I don't know the average box office opening for a Canadian.
Yeah, I mean, 300 runs is not a lot.
Yeah, that's not a ton. So I guess honestly, you're right, Nathaniel. 300 runs is not a ton. So I guess for 900K for 300 runs, it can't be too mad about. Because now that you mentioned that is a little bit better than I previously thought. But
yeah, what does that break down as? That's like
I don't even know.
Almost 30,000 a run,
something like that.
Yeah,
that's too fast of math for me to do. But yeah, we'll see where this goes. I'm curious to see. It looks like Tenet.
Took a guess. English major
for a reason. Journalism major for a reason. And then Tenet is supposed to be released on September 3rd. It's looking like. So we'll see where that lands.
If they did 1 million, that's 3,333 a run.
So. Okay, which actually isn't bad. No, when you break down the math like that could be worse.
It's not awful.
Yeah. All right. Well, moving on. We're giving you our last news story for the day. AMC Theaters plans 15-cent movie tickets for U.S. circuit relaunch. So so August 20th, AMC is planning on opening up the theaters where they can in the states that are open. Like I said before, I think there's 42 states have approved for theaters to reopen. And so when the theaters do reopen on August 20th, AMC, as a little 100-year anniversary of when the original AMC opened in Kansas City in 1920, tickets were 15 cents back then. And so they're doing a little throwback, I don't even know what you want to call it, event or something like that. But yeah, you can now go and see a movie at 15 cents, which I actually kind of like. I like that a lot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
the whole 100-year anniversary.
It's a bummer for them.
Giving. Oh yeah, they're gonna make no money. Yeah, they're gonna make no money. But I think their push for this is getting people to the theaters.
No, that's also not true. The amount of food and drinks that will go through that place they make tons of money on. I guarantee these are classic films too. They're not doing these 15-cent things for Unhinged or SpongeBob. Definitely not Tenet or something like that. And we were talking. Remember early on we were talking about like that AMC may get rid of the A-list or something because they've been doing so poorly. But I think as things open up, I think they may put a bigger emphasis on it because if you think about it, that's going to be their most secure revenue stream going forward. Well, right. These are the people
exactly. So I think
these are the people that
I think it'd be crazy for them to stop the A-list. I think that's going to be their biggest
draw. I don't think they'll stop it anytime soon.
I think they're going to make it a bigger draw for more people to join the membership because I mean, like if you look at the world today, subscriptions are the name of the game. Yeah. That's how you make money.
And I mean, honestly, A-list gives you great value.
A-list
what is it? 3 movies a week, right?
A-list.
Three movies a week.
20, is it just $20 a month, or is it more than that?
$20 a month.
Yeah.
3 movies a week.
That's a really good
be
deal.
any of the things. It could be the Atmos theater. It could be 3D. It could be anything.
Mm-hmm.
Plus,
plus
discounts at the concession stand. You generate points. You get the shorter lines.
You get free
I got to see a couple movies early. Too, like early press runs and that kind of thing. A-list is awesome.
Yeah, I unfortunately don't have an AMC on campus or anywhere near campus. It's very unfortunate because I would 100% subscribe to that and just go when I have free time and stuff like that. But that we only have I think we have a Cinemark by here, and then some smaller.
You ever thought about just dropping out?
Many times. Many times.
Specifically for A-list.
So no, specifically for A-list.
How great would it be if like a 5-star like Trevor Lawrence was like, I'm not coming to your school unless you build an AMC. I reckon someone would do it.
I wouldn't be surprised.
If the school wanted enough, they'd break down and do it.
And in case in case any of the listeners are looking to go to the AMCs that reopen, They are going to be showing Black Panther, Back to the Future, Ghostbusters, and Star Wars Empire Strike Back as some of
Ghostbusters for
their
sure.
movies that you can go see on
15
August 12th.
cents.
Yeah, I'd
So
go.
now
I mean, I
are
would go see
you
all four of those.
not
I would
only
love.
catering to the people that love to go to the movies. You're catering to the people
And-
that like
and
grew up in movie theaters.
Yeah, I would
Unironically, also
love
the
to see
people
Back
that
to the
are
Future
not
again.
going to want to wear a mask when they
True.
go to the movies.
I would go see Back to
Yeah,
the Future if I had an AMC
I would
by
definitely
me.
see those movies
I
that
would
I
100% go see
haven't
that.
gotten a chance to see in theaters before or something like that.
Yeah.
I'd go see all of those.
Alrighty. Well, that's all we had for news today. Let's get
Not trailer
to
talk.
trailer talk. We don't have trailer talk today, unfortunately. New to streaming. We barely have new to streaming today. As I was looking through,
Barely.
barely. As I was looking through the new to streaming on our 5 streaming platforms that we cover, Netflix was the only one that had anything worth mentioning, and they had one movie, and it's Les Miserables from 2012. Anne Hathaway, Russell Crowe, all the big musical. Tyler, have you seen this?
I'm in on this.
You're in on this? Have you seen it before?
Absolutely. Oh yeah.
Okay.
I've also seen it.
I have not.
Yeah, I haven't either.
This was Tom Hooper's last big movie before Cats.
Ah,
So
and
this was what got
that
him
out
the
of the
Cats
park.
gig.
Mm.
Yeah.
Have you guys seen that?
No,
I have not seen.
I've
I've heard
not.
it's skull crushing.
I heard it's.
Oh, man.
I heard.
Desire
Yeah.
to.
I heard it's not very good.
Yeah, I heard.
Yeah,
I heard you
I
made that
haven't
film
seen it
10
either.
years
Quite
older.
possible.
Yeah.
I'm out. I'm out on that.
Yeah. But yeah, Les Mis is really
But
all you're
I
gonna
would say,
get. Oh, go ahead. Tyler.
I think it's great. I actually was working for Bose when this came out, and
Ah.
it was an awesome audio demo to show people on home theater systems, and that's actually why I went to go see it. It was phenomenal.
I've seen the play live, and
Oh, really?
that I think is always going to be what everything else stacks up against, and the film just doesn't do that for me. I like the scale of the movie for sure. I think Jackman's great. Crow, but Jackman's great.
Jackman's great.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Yeah, Jackman's great.
But if you do ever get a chance to go see it on a revolving stage, like it's like it was done in the West End, definitely recommend it. It's awesome.
Now, Nathaniel, you've seen Les Mis live in the theater, and you've seen Hamilton live in the theater.
I have.
Which one would you prefer?
Ooh, tough choice.
Very, very different musicals, of course, but
Phantom of the Opera.
Phantom of the Opera? Is that where you're
that's
just...
my fave.
Okay. Respect.
Have you seen Wicked?
I've not seen Wicked. No.
I've heard Wicked's wild, dude.
Wicked's pretty wicked.
Is it really? Is it Wicked?
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
No.
This has been Theater Talk with the gang.
This has been Theater Talk.
Blake checked out
Back
there.
Row boys.
I don't got too much info on musicals, so
Not a lot of horror
No, that's all
musicals.
good.
that'd be an interesting.
I was about to say that'd be an
I always said
I would go
in high school. I always said I was
about
going
it.
to create Saw the musical.
Oh man,
It's not too late.
True.
It's not too late, Nathaniel.
James
Get working.
Wan.
Let's go.
James Wan, if you're listening.
Back Row Banter Productions presents
Saw
the musical. Yeah. All right, what we're watching. What have you guys been up to? Not Ty, Nathaniel? What have you guys been watching over there?
I need to pull up my end.
Give some good recommendations, as there's no new to stream this week.
It's kind of hard because this week was really busy for both of us, so I don't really remember us like sitting down and actually watching anything.
We watched Tropic Thunder at work.
Ah,
yeah, we did do that. That's always a classic.
Well, I watched some stuff.
yeah, that's a good one.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say my only notable thing would be The Gentleman.
I'm still mad at you.
The Gentleman. I've heard of this.
I'm so mad at Tyler.
I know
right
you
now.
are. I'm sorry.
how was that?
I love it. It's a great
actually
movie,
liked
and I
it a
was
lot.
waiting to show Tyler with, and he watched it with his girlfriend, and it was probably the most angry I've ever been at him.
Oh,
Really? Yeah, I've been meaning to get to that one.
But it was really good.
was it?
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
Streaming
No, it's
anywhere?
not, unfortunately.
told by a. Yeah, it's
bad.
phenomenal. The whole plot of it, the way it's told, the acting's phenomenal. I'm a really big Charlie Hunnam fan. But yeah, really good movie.
McConaughey's great.
Oh yeah,
Reconnaissance, baby.
McConaughey Like again, almost everything he does.
Yeah, he kills it.
He is. He's great. All right, Nathaniel, what you been watching?
You said yeah. So I did a. I got to All the President's Men.
You did. I was about to ask. Did you watch that?
Yes, I did.
Did you like it?
Yeah, and I did. Yeah, I really liked it. And then I turned around and watched Frost Nixon too. Afterwards, I went watched Frost Nixon.
Frost Nixon.
Yeah, Frost Nixon. It came out in I think 08, I want to say. Yeah, 08. God, my brain's awesome. And it's Frank Langella and Martin Sheen. No, not Martin Sheen.
Michael Sheen.
Michael Sheen. Yeah, Michael Sheen. And it's about after Watergate and after Nixon had resigned, he decided to do these kind of softball interviews with this English TV presenter, and kind of how those went down and how it really ended up killing any return to his political career.
It's streaming on Netflix.
Yeah. So that's why I watched it. So wonderful. I did a quick 1-2 punch, All President's Men, and then did Nixon after it.
I might have to do the same 1-2 punch. I'm interested in this Frost Nixon, and I wanted to rewatch All the President's Men, so I might do the same thing you did.
Yeah, it was fun. And then I also.
What did you think of President's Men? I'm curious.
Yeah, it was great. I think Redford's awesome. Dustin Hoffman's awesome. Some really interesting shots in there. In terms of kind of how where Redford's on the phone. Yeah, that was great.
I remember.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then also
he's taking notes and stuff like that.
Yeah. Well, there's one where he's on it's a continuous take of him on the phone for like 6 minutes or something like that. I really liked that. The ton of stuff that I didn't realize originated from that movie. So phrases like "follow the money." That was the origin of that the origin of that phrase. A ton of stuff in there that just gets aped now that we don't even realize is from that movie. But yeah, really, really great. I always loved the editorial bits where they go to the editor and the editor decides how the story is going to sound. You get the same thing in Spotlight too.
Pacino plays one of the editors.
Who?
Pacino, I'm pretty sure plays one of the editors. Isn't am I blowing smoke again?
This is great. I just love when he's wrong.
I could have sworn. Who am I thinking of?
Are you thinking of Eli Roth?
You know what? That's exactly who I'm thinking of. No. You know what? I'm very wrong. I don't know who I'm thinking of, but I could have sworn I saw somewhere. No, why did I think that? This was someone recently where I felt like he was in that
Hoffman
movie
looks a little like Pacino, I guess, in that era.
No, that wasn't it. I know the difference between those two. I don't know why I said that, but we're just gonna move on from it because it doesn't matter.
It's okay, no worries.
All right.
So yeah, big recommend on those. I've still been catching up on Umbrella Academy every now and then.
How's that going?
Good. Yeah, still really good. Definitely big recommend on that one. Yeah, we didn't get to do any we didn't get to do any Harley Quinn or anything like that this week, really.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah, busy week.
I say I watched something else. We watched Everybody Wants Some, which is a favorite of mine from a few years ago. Richard Linklater, baseball movie.
That was very early on in the week.
Yeah, it was. I really enjoyed that. I feel like it's the most baseball movie. If you want an accurate representation of a college baseball team, it is this movie. There's very little baseball in it. But it takes place the first 3 days before the new season starts or the new college year starts, and it's just about dudes in the 80s like hanging out and becoming like who they are going to be, and you kind of can see
doing a ridiculous amount of tobacco chew, I imagine.
Not as much as you think, really. No.
There's only one that really chews.
Yeah.
Maybe from my neck of the woods.
But yeah, it's definitely a big recommend.
What's that one called again?
Everybody Wants Some.
Everybody Wants Some.
Like the
I'm gonna have to look into that. I've only seen a handful of, but I think they're one of the better adaptations. So I think baseball does it best.
I love baseball movies.
Yeah, basketball is okay.
Tough.
They have some.
What is that one basketball movie where it's the
Space Jam?
Well, there's space. It's following University of Texas, I think it is. It deals with a lot of racial stuff. I forgot.
Coach Carter?
Maybe.
I mean, that doesn't have to do with the University of Texas.
No. I thought it.
That's probably one of the better basketball.
All right, this is not what I'm talking. Coach Carter is not what I'm talking about. There's one I'm thinking
Coach Carter. They're in high school on Coach Carter, I believe.
What's the one with Josh Lucas? There's one where his two is like crossing the line or something like that. It's something generic like that.
I can tell you.
Glory Road.
Glory Road.
Oh, okay.
I think that might be the one I'm thinking of. I could be wrong though.
Okay. Yeah, it might be.
The 1966 Texas Miners decides to build a team based on talent rather than race.
This is what I'm thinking. Glory Road.
Glory Road. This is what I was thinking of.
Yeah. Well, I was mine Crossing the Line. I think Crossing the Line's a better title.
Crossing the Line.
We're really good at coming up with.
We are very good. We are very good. We need to pivot.
Superpower and a pill, man. It's
superpower. Netflix. We are available if you need us.
Yeah.
Oh God. Was that it then, Nathaniel? Is that all you've been watching?
That was it. Except for Project Power. Yeah, that was it.
Yeah. Alrighty, sure. Blake, you said you were watching some found footage movies.
Yeah, man. So I kind of went back. I watched a decent amount of stuff this week. I went back on the found footage just to see if I can kind of get myself into that genre more, that subgenre, I should say.
Mm-hmm.
So I rewatched first VHS movies. So VHS. And
the second one. I love the first VHS.
Yeah, I still haven't seen the third one though.
I heard it's trash.
Exactly. That's why I didn't bother to kind of go into it. But the first two are good. I like the first one better. From watching them back to back, I think the first short and the first one is still the best short they have.
The one with the girl?
Yes.
Yeah.
Without a doubt.
I remember I saw that one in college and I was just like, holy shit.
Yeah, me too, man. So I remember the first time I saw it was in college and it's crazy. So I mean, they picked that girl up from the bar, right? They're gonna get into some crazy stuff at a hotel, and she's like a flying demon. And it's crazy.
It's great. It's great. That's also the one after that too, I think might be the best one with the
that's the one where it's the guy with his right.
Yeah.
Lover.
Yeah. No spoilers.
Yeah. I apologize on that. But yeah, that one's good. The second one wasn't bad either, though.
Yeah,
the second one has the one with the zombie one.
Oh, the zombie one's good too.
And the cold one is probably the most famous one of that one
for sure.
And that one's pretty good. That's probably.
Yeah, I love those movies.
I'd say that's probably the second best short they have.
I love those movies. We should definitely do those at some point.
We definitely can.
But yeah, those are quick. I mean, they're quick.
Hollinger's got a video about VHS coming out this week.
Yeah, and that's what I brought it up to my attention too, because I watched those earlier this week and I turned on YouTube today, and he had one on the first one.
For those who are not aware, Ryan Hollinger is who you guys are referring to, right?
Correct. Yes.
Yeah. So that's a YouTuber. I came across just a lot of stuff on the horror genre. Me and Nathaniel kind of sit back and watch him sometimes. He did kind of tear into VHS though. I guess rightfully so, right? They only have a handful. It's hit or miss. Some of those are good, some.
Yeah, but that's any anthology series movie.
Exactly. But yeah, so that's kind of what I did to see if I can walk back any of my takes on that. I mean, I still think Creep is much better than those. Funny thing, I guess, onto the found footage of those, the director just watched Project Power. They did, I think, third and Paranormal Activity. So that was kind of interesting.
He's the guy from Catfish's brother.
Mm-hmm.
Is one of the directors from Project Power and those installments of VHS.
Yeah, so that was kind of interesting to me when I did some background digging on them. So that's the only movies I watched this week, though. I did try to start a TV series. And I went. Well, I've watched the first 2 seasons. I went to watch the 3rd season. Horror TV series as well, obviously. But it's the Scream TV series.
Oh yeah, I liked that.
It's not bad, man, and I really, really, really liked the first season when I first watched that.
I really liked the girl.
Yes,
the main girl. I'm surprised she hasn't been in more stuff, but I really enjoyed that.
Yeah, and I should probably pull her name up. I can't think of who it is.
Willa something, I think.
Yeah,
Willa Fitzgerald, I want to say, something like that. Check my brain.
Yep, you are correct. But yeah, I really like that. So the 3rd season Doesn't have any of those same characters at all. It's not the same cast.
Yeah, they restarted it.
Yeah, but it's still good. Obviously, they always allude to kind of the horror genre. You know, that kind of intrigues me. But I'm like 4 episodes in, I think, on that. I think there's only 7 episodes or so. But it still good. It still holds up well. So that's just kind of something I found.
Where can you watch that?
Kill some time. I was gonna say Scream. Jesus Christ. Netflix.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'll probably check that out. I'd forgotten about that. I really like that show.
Yeah. That's it for me, man.
That was it. Alrighty. Well, I've continued Avatar. I'm a little over halfway through season 2 still. And I'm still liking it. It's ramping up there. It's getting up there.
Yeah, it hits a point where it just starts going.
Yeah, it's getting.
Yeah, you're in now.
They got Appa back.
Oh, good. Oh, yeah. I always refer to that as when Aang's being a little bitch.
Yeah, he is kind of
a little
angsty, little angsty Aang.
But like, come on, it's been his best friend forever.
Oh yeah,
it's the only thing he's ever done,
bro.
And it's all he's got left.
Yeah, I mean, I was attached to Appa for like a season and a half, and I was like, God damn, I miss Appa. You know,
bro, he's a character.
He really is.
Yeah, but everyone.
I love the Appa episode.
The same. They've lost Momo. Momo's my boy. Justice for Momo.
I like Momo. I like Momo.
Momo's dope.
Yeah,
I agree.
All right, I'm glad we can all agree. So watching Avatar, kind of slowly burning through that, but then Legend of Korra is on Netflix now, so I'll probably jump straight to that once I'm done with that.
As you should.
As I should. And then continuing the tradition that we have started at Back Row Banter, I've been watching quite a bit of Forged in Fire.
Let's go.
Yeah. So Forged in Fire, for those of you who have not heard of it, because I hadn't until Tyler and Nathaniel
put it on. Show that ever duded.
You're welcome.
It's such a dude show, but it's blacksmiths. It's a competition. They bring in four blacksmiths each episode, and then they have to make a knife, and then 2 are eliminated at the end of the knife round, and then they basically go home for 5 days, and they have to make a historical weapon, like a famous historical weapon from different time periods and stuff like that. And then they get home for 5 days, they come back and they test them, and then there's a winner. So you kind of see how these knives are forged and stuff like that. It's very, very, somehow very entertaining.
It's super formulaic.
They do such a good job of. Yeah, no, it's the same thing every episode, but it's great.
The judges are great. It's great because they're actually nice. Like none of the judges go out of their way to be like encouraging of everyone.
Yeah. No one's like a Simon Cowell.
Yeah, they do a very good job, the judges do, of like critiquing, but then also just being like, overall, they can be very nitpicky.
Yeah.
But they never like let that kind of influence them too much. But they give like such great feedback that you feel like you're like learning what makes good quality blades and stuff like that. Because I'm watching it with Tyler and Nathaniel the first time I was watching it, and they're like, "Oh yeah, I don't like what he's doing there." I'm like, "How do you guys know this shit?" But then I slowly have watched. I've probably watched a total of like 8 episodes, I think. I mean, maybe 10. I've probably
like, why would you even take the canister off like
exactly?
That? Like,
I'm starting to pick up on how to forge that.
We've debated the veracity of the edge quench and why more people should do it. Yeah. What have you started from the beginning, Aish, or have you just?
I started from the beginning on Hulu, so they only have season 4. I think they started season 4 on Hulu.
Because when we first moved in and we started watching it, they still had season 1 on there, so we watched it from like the start.
When I went there the other day, they didn't have it.
Interesting.
They only had up to season. They only had season 4.
Yeah, because they start out like super basic too, so that's kind of the fun is that you kind of grow with the show in some ways.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I started at season 4, which I've been fine with because I already kind of knew what I was getting into. I kind of just jumped in with.
And Damascus for life.
Damascus. Someone just forged in Damascus. I was like, wait, why doesn't everybody do this?
Good Damascus is incredible.
Yeah. So seasons 4, 5, and 6 is all that's on there. I just checked. But that's
really interesting.
It's still a lot of episodes. That's 23 episodes a season.
Yeah, it is.
Like
Dave Baker for life.
I'm excited to go with that. Dave Baker for life. But yeah, I've been loving that. Me and my roommate have been watching that. It's been a good time.
Who I'm now fighting.
I watched who that's gonna be so out of context for the listeners, but maybe I'll
just bring him up to context. I've switched over from Adam's brothers and I'm now fighting his roommate, who I respect as a combatant.
Yeah, so for some context, we're recording via Discord, and we have our cameras on, and my roommate's in the background. And so Nathaniel, before we start recording, just goes, "I'm no longer fighting your brother Adam. I'm fighting your roommate." And yeah, my roommate didn't say anything.
I called him a bitch.
And then Tyler called him a bitch.
What game is your roommate playing?
He's playing Assassin's Creed 4. Black Flag. Yeah.
Oh man.
You guys got to see. I got to send you guys pictures of the setup I got for my room, because I got my OLED mounted on the wall right there. I have my desk here, and then right to my left, my roommate has his own TV that he's gaming on. His own 40-inch. So I'll have to send you guys pics.
Tyler and my setup.
Yeah, it's I like this setup a lot. 10 out of 10. It's very unfortunate he's playing Assassin's Creed.
He's playing Assassin's Creed 4 though. That's
when there's a large selection of Assassin's Creed games.
I haven't played Assassin's Creed 4, but I've heard it's pretty good. You big Assassin's Creed guy, Blake?
I have not played the newest one. It's the only one, Odyssey.
Gotcha.
I want to play this new Viking one.
Yeah,
that one does look cool though. I think they sold me on that one.
Dude, it looks so good. And I'm just a really big fan of Vikings with like anything. Also, if you haven't watched the show Vikings, please do yourself a favor.
What is that? What is that streaming on?
I think it's on Hulu.
Okay.
Is that new Assassin's Creed? Is that next gen?
It should be both gens.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure it's Hulu.
Yeah, it's looking like it's Hulu. I'm trying to Google it right now. Yeah, it's on Hulu.
I'll fight you
All right.
every day.
Yeah, it's amazing.
I guess it's also on Amazon Prime, maybe. That also came up.
Everything's on Amazon Prime.
You'd have, I don't
rent it or buy it though, probably.
True. That's true.
Wow.
Everything is owned by Jeff Bezos. We're owned by Jeff Bezos.
Oh, Back Row Banter Pod is owned by Jeff Bezos.
Please.
Not actually. I also watched Animal House the other night.
Yeah. Oh, I've never seen Animal House.
Hey, not bad.
Yeah,
Really?
so moved into my frat house. My frat brothers and I were chilling the other night, and one of them was referenced Animal House. And I was like, I've never really seen it, and so we just put it on. Came into my room, rented it, and it was a good time. It was a really good movie.
Is that like a ritual?
No,
everybody in the frat house has to watch Animal House.
I
mean, most of it takes place in a frat house.
Most of it does take place in a frat house. My frat house much nicer than the one featured in.
Well, also times are very different.
Times are very different. That was something as I was watching that movie, I was like, wow, I could not get away with any of this shit. There's one point in the movie where he just walks up to a girl, leans her back, and kisses her. I'm just like, if I did that at a party, I'm not only getting dropped from my fraternity, I'm probably getting a Title IX against me, which is like a sex or rape allegation. Just very, very wild shit. Very wild shit in that movie. But it was a good movie. It was fun. You gotta just recognize that as the time it was in.
It was a pre 9/11 world.
Yeah. Like human resources and shit exist now. You can't get away with that stuff.
Yeah, but very good movie regardless. I think regarded as generally a classic. Can we agree on that? Animal House is
absolutely
kind of,
okay, for sure.
Good. And then last night we had a little bit of a debacle in my house about a Teletubby that we think might be haunted or possessed.
Oh, I saw that on your Snapchat.
Cool. You saw that on my Snapchat story?
Yeah.
One of my brothers in my one of my brothers in my fraternity brought this doll, this Teletubby doll that's basically falling apart. But
is it a Teletubby?
Yeah, I think so. It looked like
it did not look like a Teletubby.
Well, it lost its ears. That's why I'm saying it's falling apart. It lost its ears and everything like that.
I guess that makes sense.
Yeah,
and it had like a necklace or like a crown of like feet or something.
It was hands.
It looked so weird.
It was plastic. Jack Tressler. If you're listening, I love you, but he brought these things, and I'm not sure why. I'm just not sure. and so we were messing around, and he said that he's touched it or he's moved it like 3 times, and each time it somehow ends up mildly hurting him. Like while he's moving it, he gets scratched or something like that. And then his roommate was like, "It's really cold in my room. Like it's way below the temperature that the thermostat's set at." And so we were just joking around, and then that got us in the mood to watch a horror movie. And so we turned on Leprechaun.
Why would you not go with like Annabelle?
I wanted to, but there was about 8 people in my room watching the movie, and they saw Leprechaun, and they wanted to watch Leprechaun.
Justin and I used to watch Leprechaun movies and like just laugh.
Oh yeah, no, I was laughing the whole time. there's
so
nothing
funny.
scary about that movie. I don't know if it was supposed to be
And
scary.
then there's like wild variations.
Yeah, isn't one Back in the
I
Hood?
haven't
like Leprechaun in the Hood. Yeah,
Wow.
wild shit.
How many Leprechaun movies are
At
there?
least
There's
Yeah,
got to
Anybody know off
be
the
at
top of your head?
least
Gotta
8
be
or
10.
9.
They're like they
I'm
remind me.
looking right
Did you ever watch Pumpkinhead?
There's 8. There's 8 Leprechaun
I haven't
movies.
seen all of those.
Jesus
I've
Christ.
seen some.
You're right. There is Leprechaun
Yeah.
in the Hood. There's Leprechaun 4 in space. Leprechaun
Yeah,
back
fucking
to back to
Yeah, that's-
the Hood.
That's
Back
a pretty
to
famous
the
one.
Hood.
I said, yeah, Leprechaun in the Hood. Like I said, that's probably.
What's
I
funny
might
is
have
it's
to watch
always
these
Warwick
after
Davis
watching-
too, who gets paid to do like big movies.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's well known
So funny.
actor.
Yeah, it was a bit campy. It was a bit campy movie. What year was the first one come out?
I
93?
want to say it was 80s.
93 it's looking like.
It's got to be something like
I
that for
always
sure.
assumed it was the 80s, but maybe not. It's young Jen Aniston, isn't it?
No, it's it's
Somebody is in the Leprechaun in the Hood. Somebody's in that.
It's like Brandy or
I'm
something.
sure they had
Um,
some actors in there. Yeah.
No, Brandy's
Yeah,
in.
'cause-
Brandy's in.
I'm gonna look it up.
Leprechaun.
She's in I Know What You Did Last. I
Yeah,
still
but I
remember.
think she's also in
Leprechaun.
Freddy
What you
vs.
did with
Jason.
No, that's
Ice-T. Is that who you're thinking of? Ice-T's in Leprechaun 5.
yes, he's in Leprechaun. Nathaniel's thinking of Carrie.
Yeah,
The one who was in
yeah.
Destiny's
Russell?
Child,
No,
Carrie
that's the
something.
actress.
I don't see any
I'm
carries.
drawing a blank. Oh my
Maybe
gosh, what's her
Look up Freddy
name?
vs. Jason.
Freddy vs. Jason.
But yeah, she's in Destiny Child with Beyonce. I can't think of her name. Right.
Kelly
man.
Rowland.
Kelly Rowland. That's who it is. Kelly
okay.
Rowland.
Coolio's in
Well, there you go.
Halloween 5.
So yeah, that's just about,
Jennifer Aniston.
Yeah, that's right, I told you,
Jennifer
young Jen.
Aniston's in the first one.
yeah,
Oh, I didn't even see that.
yeah, she
In the
is.
first Leprechaun?
We were talking about
Yeah.
she's the first Leprechaun. She's the main character.
Yeah, her and
I'm gonna have to go back and rewatch
McConaughey.
that.
Is that before?
That's her
when did-
first
when did
movie, I'm pretty
Friends
sure,
start?
because her and McConaughey got their start in horror.
Well, was that before or after Friends? 94. So that's
Yeah.
before. That's pre-Friends. Jennifer Aniston. That's so funny.
93.
Yeah, McConaughey's in
Yeah, because Leprechaun's 93.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre: The Beginning, and I think that's his first acting role.
Really?
Is it really? Somebody else is in that too. What's her name? She's in all the
The
Fast
girl?
and the Furious.
Michelle Rodriguez
Um,
or
what's her
Jordana
name?
Brewster.
yeah, really.
Michelle
Oh,
Rodriguez.
yes, Jordana Brewster. That's who it is. That's who it is. And I don't know if she's in the beginning or if she's
Texas
in
Chainsaw
the
Massacre: The
second
Next
one.
Generation
I
in
forgot what it's called.
95. That's
Yeah, that's what it was.
Bro, I think I have to watch the first Leprechaun soon.
It's on HBO Max.
I think I gotta watch Texas Chainsaw.
on
I'm
HBO
always
Max.
down for a
Which,
good
Right there.
Which
bro.
Texas Chainsaw?
I think I want to go down
I'll
the
watch any
series.
of
The first one's one of my favorites.
Like the original.
The
Yeah.
OG. Yeah, that's one of my favorite horror movies. I saw a clip of the second one when I was like 11, and it scared the crap
Mhm.
out of me. And then I never saw anything else. I saw the remake, like 04.
Yeah, that's
remake
one
with
of
Jessica
the,
Biel.
Jessica Biel, and the other one has
Yeah.
Jordana Brewster. You said in there. Yeah.
Yeah, and they're fine.
Yeah.
But
And then the other one from 2013, terrible. It's got Trey Songz
trash.
in it, and that's
Yeah,
when everything
Trey
was like
Songz.
3D. It's
Yeah, it's so bad. And then they did another one. Wasn't there one called Leatherface that came out not long, like 2018, I want to say,
I'm
or something
looking.
like that. It was
couldn't
trash.
tell you.
Leatherface
Yeah,
is
it wouldn't surprise me.
2017.
2017.
Yeah.
Damn, missed it by a year.
You lost one. You're 2 for 3.
Yeah, it's okay. I'm always within a year.
All right, fine.
That's all you can ask for.
I'll give it to you. 3 for 3. Nathaniel's mind is superior.
I just, if anyone's new for the listeners or can't tell, I don't, if I'm shouting a number, I'm not looking it up on IMDb generally. It's generally off the top of my head. I don't know why my brain is like that, but it is.
Some people just have that for you. Alrighty.
I think it's
That's all I had for what we're watching. You guys ready to move on
Master
to the main segment?
No, it's not that.
Main
Let's
review.
do it,
It's
man.
something else.
Project
Drop
Power.
my head.
Project Power. Nathaniel, would you like to give the audience the rundown?
Superpowers in a
I sure will. Superpower in a pill. So, reading from the IMDb summary on if you
Well,
this is your first time listening
Yeah.
to Back Row Banter, the way we do our movie reviews is I read the IMDb summary, then we give our first reactions and whether or not we would recommend the film. We always make it a binary choice. Would we recommend it? Would we not? After that point, we're going to talk spoilers for the movie. So if you don't want to be spoiled, you can listen up to there and feel totally safe. HU will put it in the put the time codes in the episode description so you can know when it's safe to come back and listen to us close out the episode.
Please do come back.
Please do. Yeah, that's one of the funniest parts. But then from then on, we will be talking spoilers. We'll do a general wrap up of the story, kind of give our main thoughts on it, really kind of dig deep in it. And then we're going to rank it on our entropy list. That's when you can come back in if you want to know where it stands against all the other stuff that we've watched for the show.
There you go. Alrighty. Well, let's get right into it. Nathaniel, what is it? Give us our description of the movie.
Really quick. So Project Power came out last week. It's on Netflix, so go watch it, please. And it stars Jamie Foxx, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, and Dominique Fishback. It's directed by Henry Joost and Ariel Schulman. That's the guy that we were talking about as brother of Nev Schulman, whatever his name is, who did Catfish. But the summary goes like this. When a pill that gives its users unpredictable superpowers for 5 minutes hits the streets of New Orleans, a teenage dealer and a local cop must team with an ex-soldier to take down the group responsible for its creation. So pretty bare bones, as they tend to be on IMDb, but basically the story's told from one or two different point of view at the start, and then it kind of comes together. One in which is Dominique Fishback, who plays a character named Robin. Yes. Robin. I remember thinking, Robin Riley. She's got a superhero name because they always are alliterative and start with the same letters. But Robin Riley. She's the dealer that was in the description. She's living at home with her mom, trying to make ends meet. You've got Jamie Foxx, who is the soldier who is just looking for his daughter and also trying to stop the proliferation of the Project Power pill. And then you also have Joseph Gordon-Levitt, who's coming at it from the other side, who is a detective that is friends with Robin and is trying to do some good in New Orleans, trying to track down where this pill is coming from. So the pill gives you 5 minutes of superpowers. You don't know if it's going to kill you or not. And if you take too much, you can die. You also don't know what your power is going to be. So you get what you get. And that's kind of the basic summary without going too much into spoilers, I would say. What do you think, Ish?
Yeah, I think that's pretty good.
I'd agree.
But overall thoughts? Who wants to start? Or just your first reactions?
I'll start.
Sure, Blake.
It's good. It's a Netflix movie. I mean, I would kind of leave it at that.
Movie. That's
your rating in and of
yeah,
itself.
I mean, it really should be.
I would say I do like the idea, though. I think the idea is really interesting. The execution may not have been the greatest, but I think they were on the right path. Like, they had a lot of things going for them.
They really, they did.
But then we can kind of dig into a little bit later. But yeah, that's my quick thoughts on that.
Sure. Ty?
Yeah, man. The thing I kept telling Nathaniel is the more I thought about this movie, the more it grew on me. So yeah, it got my attention.
Okay. Nathaniel, you can go. I'll finish it off.
I'm very mixed on this film. It's going to be a tough one for me to either recommend or not recommend later. I think here's what I like. First of all, I like that it stars Jamie Foxx and Dominique Fishback as the main characters. I think if this film was made 10 years ago, there would be an all-white cast in New Orleans, and it would have like maybe the Joseph Gordon-Levitt character would be a person of color. Mm-hmm. But I think nowadays the fact that these films are being made and that it is of the quality that it is, because it is a well-made film, it means that this film is going to end up being in some kid's favorite movie or some guy's favorite movie, and the fact that people of color being able to see themselves represented in this way is pretty exciting for me. So that's what I was thinking about a lot during the film, just kind of how this level of film doesn't necessarily always get made in this way, and it was cool to see that. But that being said, I think it writes too many interesting ideas and doesn't solve most of them. It aims big but doesn't focus in tight enough.
Mm-hmm. I would 100% agree with that.
I think the overall ideas. I think overall it's good, but I'm bugged because I can easily see how it could have been better. It didn't swing big enough.
Yep.
Is my biggest complaint about it. And if that's enough to not recommend it, I don't think so, but it is a frustrating thing for me to see.
I agree 100% with that. I think the concept is really cool. And I went into this movie with pretty low expectations. I thought Extraction was okay. They had some cool fight choreography. Yeah, but I mean, I just don't have huge expectations, and honestly have negative expectations. Like I expect Netflix movies to be less than good. I expect them to usually be pretty almost bad in some cases. So when I was going into this movie with pretty low expectations, but I kept an open mind, and the beginning surprised me. The first act I actually liked quite a bit, but then it definitely fell apart towards the end and towards halfway through the movie, where I felt like you're right, Nathaniel. Like it's very loose with what it wants to do. It never really focuses in very much.
Yeah, it's a beautiful looking movie. I think New Orleans is great in it.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it was a very good setting. I like the setting.
The particularly how they film light is great. I do not like their camera choices overall. Their shot choices.
I again agree. I again agree with that. There were some very weird shots where I was like, they're trying to do stuff that's cool, I guess, but it's like very unnecessary and almost takes you out of it.
Yeah, it felt small in certain things. And I realize that's a limitation of the budget, but this is a story that I would have liked to have seen get a Chris Nolan treatment or something like. I think it would have been really interesting if it was taken to that level of prestige and that kind of big summer blockbuster movie,
like Super 8.
We just lost Nathaniel.
I will kind of recap what I was saying there.
Okay. Alrighty
then.
Like we were saying, gang, there's gonna be some difficulties.
Can you turn on your camera quick, Nathaniel?
Yeah.
Some tie-ups.
Yeah, I can go ahead and cut that out. So just go ahead and keep going, Nathaniel.
Yeah, no, that's kind of it. That's a lot of what I was saying. I've talked for a while there, but I'll tie it into more thoughts later on. But we can go ahead if we recommend or not.
Yeah, the binary 1s and 0 recommendation. Ty?
I think.
We can go to you, Nathaniel.
No, go Ty.
Okay.
Yeah, watch it if you have Netflix. Obviously, if you don't have Netflix, don't go out of your way to see Project Power. It's not that great, but I think it has some very redeeming qualities that I will definitely touch on because I think they need to be touched on. But yeah, definitely watch if you have Netflix. It's worth it.
Blake?
Yeah, quick answer. I'd say yeah.
Okay.
It's not horrible, right? It's not unbearable.
Yeah.
It's an under 2 hour runtime. Quick. It's got Jamie Foxx in it. I'd recommend.
Okay. Nizza?
Yeah, I'd recommend it with some reservations, just disappointment of what could have been, which I guess is a little unfair, but it's.
Again, I agree with you, Nathaniel. I think we're almost at the exact same spot on this movie. I want to recommend it, but like if someone came up to me and said, "Hey, recommend me a movie on Netflix," Project Power is very far down on that list.
That's a good point.
I agree with that.
So it's like it's not. I mean, if someone asked me if I would say if somebody's gonna ask me if they recommend watching it, but like it's definitely not anywhere near my first choice on Netflix. And that was not a very binary answer. So I guess my binary answer will be yes, I would overall recommend it, but with some reservations, like Nathaniel said.
Yeah.
Alrighty. So I guess that was technically an all-around recommendation, although Nathaniel's and I were not very they were not very great great endorsements. But yeah, go check it out. We're gonna head into spoilers right now. So if you do plan on watching Project Power and have not yet, please stop if you don't want anything spoiled for you, because we definitely are going to spoil pretty much the entire movie. We are not holding back. and then go check the description where I have posted the timestamp for your return. And you can catch the end of the episode and the entropy list. All right, Nathaniel, let's get it. Finish out the story.
It's kind of revealed that Jamie Foxx's daughter has become the source or the code for power, because Jamie Foxx was in the military in the 80s or 90s, and they were testing it out on him based off of evolution from animals, saying that animals are able to adapt to a bunch of different environments and different modes of living, different weapons that they create, and different defense mechanisms. Humans should be able to do the same thing. So while he had the power in him, he made a baby. That baby now has the power permanently. She does not have to take a pill or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
So this shadowy organization, Telios or something like that,
it was something with a T.
They kidnap the daughter. He's looking for her. Joseph Gordon-Levitt is chasing down from the cops angle. Robin gets kind of caught up in the middle of this, becomes the surrogate daughter figure for Jamie Foxx, and he becomes the surrogate father figure for her, and it all culminates in a big battle on a cruise liner, and the good guys get away.
There you go. The good guys get away. I think that's pretty.
And I mean, my enthusiasm of describing the plot there is about my feelings on the plot itself.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, you pretty much filled most of it in. Is Ty or Blake, is there anything you guys would add to that maybe he missed?
No, I think that's the pretty quick gist of what happens.
Sure.
Yeah. I would say, I'm not too fond of the movie, so I mean, we could leave it at that.
Okay, sounds good. All right, yeah, let's get into it then. Let's get into it. Nathaniel, what would you give us your spiel? I know you got a spiel waiting.
Nathaniel spiel. Yeah, so for what I was saying earlier, I guess is kind of my big thoughts about it. It feels like it's a movie, or it's a script that deserved a bigger movie than it got. The actors are not given nearly enough to do. Jamie Foxx and Joseph Gordon-Levitt are far better than this material. That being said, they are good in it. The girl is very good in it as well. Dominique Fishback. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. I'm probably not.
I think you
sorry.
are. I saw it on IMDb. It looks right.
Okay.
So.
But I just, again, it sounds like I'm being harsh, but it's because I truly believe that this film could have been a bigger film and had a better audience, or a wider release and a bigger audience, had it had a better set of directors on there who had a bigger vision and a little bit more funding. But that being said, I think the overall ideas are really well executed. Like I said, I think New Orleans looks beautiful. I think that I am happy that it is out there and that it is in the world, and it stars who it stars, and they address some of the things. I like the soundtrack a lot. They do some kind of really good kind of I would say like deeper cut rappers. Like there's the Mick Jenkins song on there.
Yeah, the opening song is Lil Wayne, Nipsey Hussle on there. Yeah.
So
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Not quite as well known guys, but guys that are respected in the rap community and that kind of thing. I think Jamie Foxx and Robin's relationship is really nice. They definitely that is a problem I have with these kind of movies, where whenever there's a kidnapping, is that you end up not caring about the kidnappee that much, because you're like, well, the relationship is better with Robin and Jamie Foxx than it is with Jamie Foxx and his daughter, because we don't know Jamie Foxx and his daughter at all. But those are just general thoughts. I watched it this morning, so I don't have a lecture prepared, but next week I'll come up with something.
Okay. Your spiel was not as
it's not as tight as I normally would say.
It's not fully evolved as it usually is.
Yeah, it's still gestating. It's still marinating.
Of course.
Up top.
Yeah. Blake, what'd you think?
I agree with Nathaniel. Like I said, and the first thing I said, I think the idea is very good. I just don't think it got into the right hands.
Jamie Foxx is the dumbest power of all time.
Yeah, and then he gives the whole spiel on it when he's sitting there and handcuffed
it's
to the
completely
chair.
unintelligible. There's nothing for you to know what it is. I'm sorry, I'm cutting in on Blake. Go ahead.
Yeah, no worries. But yeah, his superpower is basically he's like the Phoenix, right? So the Phoenix. Is
he a Phoenix or is he a shrimp?
Well, that was his analogy, right? Was a shrimp was like a fire shrimp or something?
The pistol shrimp.
Pistol shrimp.
Pistol shrimp.
Yeah. Who? Go ahead.
Yeah, but I mean, I think the idea was good, like I said. But I do think that if you take out Jamie Foxx and Joseph Gordon-Levitt, I think this movie fucking sucks.
Yes, 100%.
And that's me just being as blunt as I can possibly be.
Yes.
I think they carry the film tremendously.
They really do.
Because they're really good actors. I do think Robin, what's her name? Dominique Fishback. I think she carried her too for the role she was given. But I think if you take those two big heads out and Jamie and Joseph Gordon-Levitt, I think this movie is fucking terrible.
Yeah.
But I do think the things it has going for it is the overall theme. I do like the soundtrack a ton. Me being black, that's like the first thing that like you don't see movies. Like when the opening credits is Lil Wayne, I'm like, okay, like this movie is like it's already growing.
It's very New Orleans.
For sure.
Yeah.
For 100%. Sure. Yeah, and he's from New Orleans. So it made a lot of sense, right? Where you got to see that stuff. It's always cool to see stuff like kind of in the hip hop community like that. Machine Gun Kelly's in the movie.
Yeah, I was gonna say MGK.
Yeah.
He's made a name for himself kind of recently as an actor. He's pretty good. He's
in Bird Box.
He kind of reminds me
Box as well.
Yeah.
He kind of reminds me of Mos Def. Whenever Mos Def's a really good actor. Whenever he's in
Mos Def's great.
I really like watching him act. But that's just kind of what
he's the bomb guy in The Italian Jobs.
Yes, he is.
Exactly.
Yasin Bey, as he's known when he acts.
Yeah. But yeah, that's kind of my quick synopsis on that one and kind of my feelings. So I mean, to answer that, right, I mean, I guess I'd recommend it, right? I don't think it's terrible. I do think it has some good things going for it, just from a cultural standpoint. But yeah, if you remove Jamie Foxx and Joseph Gordon, I think this movie is a pile of shit.
Yeah. Ty?
So after you said that, I almost kind of think like if you put two other kind of not very well known name actors in this, I think it might almost be a little bit better because it is just a Netflix movie. Like Dominique's character, I think this was a perfect movie for her to step into. I haven't seen her in anything else except for this. This is my first movie with her in it. So I think she actually did pretty well for how big this movie is, which is not big at all. But yeah, I guess after you saying that almost makes you think it might be a little bit
she's
better
actually
if you
been
put
in
some C or B listers in here versus two A listers.
Sure.
She's been in quite a few TV shows, and she's also in The Hate You Give from 2018.
Okay.
Which is I know it was a pretty popular movie. Sorry, continue.
You guys ever heard of the movie Code 8?
Yep.
I have.
So Code 8 is again kind of one of those low budget superhero movies. But what I think they both do very well is they have this unique way of showing superpowers. Like the big superpower movie game has been very, very repetitive.
Sure.
And everybody, you know the movies. They're great. We love them, but they're very repetitive.
There's a ton of little things there's a ton of little things and little ideas that they do in this movie that I really, really like. Like the fact that when you have the powers, it hurts you. And you can tell, and all that stuff, I think is great. And there are like a lot of really nice, bright things about it. But I think overall, just the directing fails. But go ahead, keep going.
Yeah, I think it just does a really unique job of being able to say this is a different way of kind of spinning the superpowers on its head, and this is a cool way of kind of doing it. You guys already touched on the soundtrack. Soundtrack was great. I think the acting was kind of within its bounds for the movie. I think they kind of put Jamie Foxx and Joseph Gordon-Levitt on a leash for the sake of it being a Netflix movie. I think there were some scenes where they both probably could have gone a little step further.
There's a part where they're having the heart-to-heart, and Jamie Foxx goes, "Yo, you're gonna be a rapper? Who are you gonna be? Cardi C?" It's like that's the worst joke I've ever
Yeah,
heard.
Yeah.
Like I feel like
and Jamie Foxx is funny. I feel like he
He
probably
is.
could have just improv something.
Yeah, I felt like that too. Or he did improv that line, and no one was like, "Jamie, that's not very good, bro."
Yeah, right. His assistant was like, "You did great." Honestly, I think other than The Old Guard, this is probably the best Netflix movie I've seen.
And I think I like this better than The Old Guard, to be honest.
I would agree. So I would say out of all the Netflix originals, this is the best one, which is why it gets the credit that I'm giving it.
Well, if that's the case, I'm definitely not watching Old Guard.
I'm gonna rip this movie apart in a lot of ways, but it is an infinitely watchable movie. Like if you have an evening free, you can throw it on, or like a Saturday afternoon and you're doing laundry or something like that. But I'm also going to beat this up a little bit.
The fight scenes I thought were great. Like where he's fighting the stretchy bone guy in the boat.
Yeah, so
I thought that was really cool. You kind of don't know that his powers are activated. And it's kind of cool to kind of have to see what his powers are, and you kind of see them more and more as that fight carries on, which I thought was pretty cool. They kind of do a good job at building suspense on how long 5 minutes actually is.
Yep.
Right.
And I think that's one of the redeemable qualities about the movie is they actually play that out fairly well.
And they do a really good job making the powers real world. Like that guy's clearly a dancer. He's one of those guys that you can is a contortionist dancer that can move dislocated shoulders and stuff like that. What I thought was stupid was the salesman early in the film going, you can have animals that dislocate their bones. You can have animals that can melt
that break their bones.
Yeah, and use them. Every obscure power he says you see in the film, and he would like turn water into plasma, which is what Jamie Foxx can do. Like, so I was like, why are we getting this laundry list?
That's not just it's something that does not need to be foreshadowed.
I felt like the producers were like, you can very clearly see where this film has reshoots because Joseph Gordon-Levitt's eye changes when he's shot in the head early in the film. It blows out a blood vessel on his eye, and that blood vessel, the bleed that is there, shows up and disappears throughout the film consistently. And I think the reshoots all occur when you don't see it for whatever reason. They forgot to put in his contact lens that day or whatever. But
I do like some of the superpowers though. But the one that was just infuriating to me was the sales guy. So he takes a pill and he just turns into like
Mr. Hyde from 2003's League of Extraordinary Gentlemen,
which is a great movie.
But it was so out of place compared to everybody else's power.
Yeah.
It was, and the CGI looked horrendous.
Yeah, it was not good.
And that
it's the Hulk in the aircraft carrier scene in the first Avengers, but done worse.
Yeah.
Also, really quick on that scene, Jamie Foxx, to escape that scene, Jamie Foxx and Joseph Gordon-Levitt are running up a set of stairs, and Jamie Foxx stops, shoots the
gas line.
Shoots the gas line, and then it just cuts to them jumping out of the building on the street. He shoots the gas line, it explodes, and then he's suddenly teleported to the front of the building. There's no fucking way. The fuck? I saw that and I was like, that just shit like that is unacceptable.
Yeah, that entire
it just takes me.
Honestly, that's where you can see where the movie missed there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a guy that I notoriously do not notice consistency errors, but the Joseph Gordon-Levitt eye thing I thought really, and I think it's because I was just paying attention because I haven't seen Joseph Gordon-Levitt in anything in so long
except for Batman.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, I really miss.
I do too. I thought he's probably the best part of this movie is Joseph Gordon-Levitt. Jamie Foxx is good in it too. Don't get me wrong, but I miss Joseph Gordon-Levitt. He was really good in this movie. He was doing a lot with a little. Was not given a lot of dialogue.
He kind of understood that character
dialogue to work. I think he did.
Real quick though, for some. I'm sorry, go ahead, Tyler.
No, I was just gonna say he played Robin, and then he's basically trying to train this sidekick whose name is Robin. So
wow,
which is also an animal.
It's a bird.
Real quick though, on Dominique Fishback, the character of Robin, who obviously we're kind of talking about right now. I did read that all of the freestyles that she's actually doing when she's rapping, she actually freestyled all of it.
Oh wow!
So I kind of read about that. So that was.
She should. Too bad she wasn't in Blind Spotting, a much better movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, the freestyle in that movie is great. Even though I don't know if that's real, but
yeah, I'm curious to know if that guy actually out that or not. I mean,
Daveed Diggs, he's in a hip hop band. He does rap a lot.
Yeah.
So
I don't think it's freestyle, but
I don't think
no,
so.
that had a lot of context to it.
Yeah.
The closing freestyle 100% was not freestyled. That was definitely something pretty
that would be very hard.
Yeah, they freestyle throughout the movie, so I wouldn't be surprised if maybe it was real. The other stuff, but the ending one is I almost guarantee not freestyle.
Yeah.
Well, to finish my thought earlier, I feel like there was significant reshoots on this film because they were like they don't think the audience is going to understand or something, but there's a ton of exposition dumps in this.
Yeah,
where people just sit down and go, "Here's the plot for the next 5 minutes," and there's and again all of Chekhov's revolvers in there, the spiky bone guy, the stretchy arm man, and plasma dude.
Yeah, it's disappointing because you guys have said it multiple times, but it is such a cool concept. And maybe in getting this kind of concept,
I like the design of the pills a lot.
Yeah, that was cool. I don't know
it's kind of these
why you
twisted to like activate it,
but who knows? I thought the MGK lighting on fire. I thought that was actually really cool at the start.
That was that looked awesome. Yeah, some of the best CGI for a Netflix film. And
that was it was very good CGI.
Like the CGI, it's actually really good. The only like bad CGI was when he turned into Hulkamania.
Yeah, and I think they hide most of that because it's at night and it's down a corridor, and I think they hide most of it. But yeah, you're correct. He really does look like in the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. There's a part where Mr. Hyde fights another guy who like hulks out on Mr. Hyde's serum.
And like half his body's big.
Yeah, and he's like bright red, and it's really what it looks like.
Yeah, that was bad.
Yeah. What you guys think?
Who is from 300? He's Xerxes.
Ooh, nice.
Oh,
what are you saying, Adam?
I was gonna say, if we had said pill, this was just a question, kind of dumb question, but if we had the pill in real life, would you guys take it?
Yeah, that's another.
Would you risk it?
That's kind of a good question.
Before we go into this, that is another thing. I think this film, like all of the posters are like, would you do if you 5 minutes for superpowers, but it may kill you? Would you do it? And that's never really, it's never really presented as that much of a choice. That you see one guy blow up because of the pill. And everyone else, it seems like they just get powers.
Yeah, because Machine Gun Kelly technically overdoses.
Because he takes 3,
right?
but only one guy just takes it and just blows up.
And that was the security guy when they're at like the sales party.
Yeah, exactly. And but it seemed like the trailer and all the posters were like, this is the main crux of the movie: is this question of would you take superpower or not, or would you take the risk?
Right, and everyone's popping on like candy.
Well, yeah, but like the kids in the beginning where they're trying to jump Robin, that one kid's like, this isn't worth it. I'm out.
Yeah.
I don't even care anymore.
Yeah.
And then the chick that's freezing to death in when they're showing. So yeah, I think you see it a couple other times, but yeah, I don't think they play on that as much as they probably should.
As much as they advertised that they were going to.
Correct.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, but anyway, would you guys take it if we lived in this universe of power superpowers in a pill, but you could blow up?
Yeah, fuck it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm in.
Blake,
what do you wish your power would be?
That was another question I was going to get to, but I was going to ask.
I guess we'll go around first.
I was going to ask if you'd take it first.
I don't know, man. Probably not.
Probably not.
Not.
I don't know, man. According to this film's logic, you got like a 1 in 50 chance of hit, so why not?
I mean, yeah, it's the same as the COVID death rate. It's like you might as well just get it, you know?
Right. And
oh
God.
Yeah, probably. If it's this film's odds, sign me up, bro.
I would agree with
that.
I'd
agree with that then.
If it's this
I'll
film's
probably
odds,
wait until I was 90, but you know.
Yeah. There's a lot of and I guess we can get to the same question that Blake was going.
What about you, Aisha? Are you taking it?
Yeah, probably. It's like you said, if the chances are the same as in the movie where we saw one guy and probably 50 blow up, then sure. And if I blow up, I blow up. It is what it is. I'll probably die from COVID anyway. So
0.5 chance.
There you go.
Okay.
Yeah. What would you guys want your superpowers to be?
That's too tough.
Yeah. I mean, it seemed pretty random in the movie, so it's kind of hard to say. Like,
right. It looks like there's.
Okay, I'll go with this. Then.
Anything's in the realm.
If you could choose out of all the ones that we saw in the movie, if you could choose one, which one would you choose?
Ooh.
Jamie Foxx.
But he damn near dies after he uses his, right? Yeah, his daughter has to bring him back.
By the way, Nathaniel already touched on it, but his power is just a kill all, and like the movie end, like it's so stupid.
It honestly, that entire scene, honestly, it's like Jean from X-Men to me. Like in the
where Logan's like trying to get to her, and he's just like
heavy X-Men 3 vibes.
That's exactly what it looked like to me.
Yeah. But yeah, that's like I think that's one of my biggest gripes with that. It's just a kill all, and it's stupid, and I did not like that.
And they set it up to make it sound like he has no control over where the shit goes. But then he's like whipping that shit around, and Robin survives even though she's right next to the doctor. I'm just there wasn't really any. I don't know. I just got the vibe that it was like, oh, once he takes it, he can't control that, and that's why he's hurting himself or whatever. But he seemed to be maneuvering the plasma or whatever it was to strike people down. But
he
then
can turn water into plasma, superheat water so it becomes plasma. He has this power.
So like the other thing, right? The big bodyguard in the ship.
Thank God it's raining. The final act, because otherwise he's screwed.
Yeah, I was watching like, where's all this water?
He's just gonna break. Although, okay, if the film ended with Jamie Foxx pulling out a squirt gun and shooting everyone in the head, and then chasing those shots, and then superheating those squirt gun shots into like bullets. And just melting people's face with it, I would be 100% on.
I wouldn't be mad. I wouldn't be mad.
Yeah, I would. It would.
That's a better ending.
Problem I have with this film.
That's a better.
He pulls out like fake pistols. that are painted like real guns,
or like one of those the things that you use to like pump bug spray, or like the weed killer.
Yeah,
wears it on his back.
Or like,
God.
Or he spits it out of his mouth. He's got like a camel pack on.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, really quick. Let's go around. If you could pick one superpower from the movie, what would it be?
Probably Levis.
Yeah, I was gonna say being bulletproof would be pretty cool.
I'd take the guy who robbed the bank.
The invisibility one?
Oh, the invisible guy?
There was no consistency.
They just made it modern.
You think he's got clothes on? Or you think he's running around like butt-ass
naked? He was naked.
He's butt-ass naked.
He was naked. But there was no consistency with that scene because Joseph Gordon-Levitt was acting like nobody could see him. He was like, follow the bags.
Dude, he hops on a fucking bike.
And then he hops on a bike.
Rides a bike. Why would you do that? If you're invisible. Like, why, you know what I mean? It didn't make any sense to me. It's like, I would just run instead of hopping on a bike. I can't make the bike invisible. I can't make
at some point,
or just
don't worry about the money.
Invisible.
Right.
They didn't make
it's weird.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt was acting like nobody could see him. And I was just like, well,
but that was another.
If I can see him and he can, and Joseph Gordon-Levitt can,
I think that's just a way so you can see him.
I understand.
In the film's defense, too, I did really like. It was another good example of using practical effects to display the powers of just using weird things. So, like at the start of that, you can see that the guy's clearly been airbrushed to look like the wall, and then after that, they use CGI to kind of show him his powers or whatever. The same as the guy later in the film who can dislocate his joints. He's clearly a contortionist.
If you guys didn't know, an octopus can do that.
Right, and a rat can squeeze under a door frame or something.
Yeah, as long as like a rat or a mouse, as long as a rat or a mouse can get their head through something, they can get their entire body through.
Yeah. But
yeah. And then there was one final thing I wanted to bring up.
We were talking superpowers.
Oh yeah, wait. Oh yeah,
we chose mine yet.
I'm sorry.
Where do you going with?
I want the gullet of a seagull or of a pelican. I want a big old pelican neck.
Okay.
So you can just swallow anything whole.
Yeah, exactly. I'll just swallow all my enemies.
I can't be mad about that.
Pac-Man style. I'll be the human Pac-Man.
I saw, completely off topic, I saw a clip the other day of it was a stork, possibly, or a pelican, or was swallowing something, and obviously they don't chew anything.
Yeah.
And the animal it swallowed ate its like self out.
Oh yeah, that's on the Nature is Metal. If you've never followed Nature is Metal on Instagram, it is not safe for work because it is nature at its most gnarly. But yeah, it ate like a snake, and the snake just bit its way out like a chest burster, an alien.
Crazy.
That's funny as hell. I would probably also go with the invisibility. I think I'm thinking with that. That or bulletproof.
My pelican idea.
I love your pelican idea. I just wouldn't go with.
Is that really a superpower, or is that just a gigantic mouth?
Who knows?
What? It's how you use it, man.
Fair enough.
Yeah, and there was one point that I forgot to mention earlier that I want to bring up is I think Tyler mentioned this. The action in the movie is actually pretty well choreographed. It's actually pretty good. And I loved the one shot where it was inside of that incubation chamber or whatever in the basement.
Yes, I liked that as well.
And they're panning in it's because it's a 360 chamber, and they're kind of just panning as Jamie Foxx goes across and just is murdering people.
Yeah,
I thought that was a really cool shot.
Yeah, and the girl is just dying inside.
Yeah, it's really interesting.
And you see it from her point of view.
Yeah, where you've got it's the one instance in the film where the camera seems to kind of act on its own, which is kind of fun because you have action in the foreground where the girl is kind of falling apart, and then you've got Fox in the background between a barrier of glass. And I think it's actually a series of shots edited together to look like one shot, or one panning shot. But it's done really well overall. They're smart with how they shoot this for sure, and they're smart with where their money went for sure. But I really wish it had a bigger budget and didn't have those limitations on that.
Yeah,
I think the budget was like 85 million or something like that.
Which it looks good for 85 million for sure.
Yeah. Also, a quick shout out to Casey Neistat. If you guys watch Casey Neistat on YouTube, he's in this. He's the biker. He's like the biker guy. He's the boyfriend of the girl that freezes to death. Jamie Foxx. Face against the glass.
Yeah, sure.
That's Casey Neistat.
Tate Fletcher's in this as well as Tate Fletcher, former UFC star, was in this as well as as Wallace, the big guy, the big guy with the large beard. You can
the main bodyguard.
Yeah, after his UFC run,
is like a brute, and then he just gets 2 pumps to the shotgun of the chest, and he's just like dead. Like I'm sitting here waiting for a boss battle, and I get dog shit. Yeah,
that was a pretty brutal shotgun shot. They showed it. They showed the clip.
I was really mad. That was probably one of my other scenes that I was really mad at.
Yeah, no, I agree. I see where you're coming from, but all right. Do we have any more thoughts on Project Power, or can we move on here to the entropy list?
Wrap it up. List.
All righty. Well, we'll give our little welcome back, listeners. This is going to be the timestamp. Hello, welcome back. We're putting Project Power on the entropy list. Where do we think this shall go? I can read through it again if you guys want, but there's going to be a certain point where
please.
Movies where I cannot keep reading through it.
I agree.
But for now, it is Arrival 1, Prisoners 2, Green Room 3, Blind Spotting 4, The King of Staten Island number 5, and An American Pickle at number 6.
This beats American Pickle. I would rather watch this than American Pickle.
I'd rather watch this than King of Staten Island, to be honest with you. But
okay, I was gonna go there, but you all were kind of ripping it apart, and I didn't know if I wanted to go there. But yes, I would also rather watch this better. Yeah, yep, 100%.
Which do you think is the better movie though? Because I get we're kind of in between, but I
I would say that I'm a little biased, just because I'd rather watch.
Because I'm all for putting what you liked above what you didn't, and that's where you're gonna put.
Yeah,
but for me,
I would say this is above Staten Island and American Pickle.
Blake,
it's certainly above an American Pickle. It's going to take a lot for a movie to be able to do that. In terms of King of Staten Island, that's tough. I see where Tyler and Nathaniel are. Just in terms of the watchability, if that's even a replay value.
I know.
I would certainly rather sit down and watch this. Right? It's not. I don't have to be as attentive. It's, you know what I mean. They have kind of the same runtime, I would say.
Staten Island's probably a bit longer, actually. I think Staten Island. This was just under 2 hours. I think Staten Island pushes to.
Staten Island's 2:16.
2:16.
Okay.
But
I'm torn.
Turn up the sensitivity on your mic just a little bit. I'm catching maybe like every 7th or 8th word. Or I'm just dropping.
I apologize on that.
I wasn't sure.
Whoa. Were you getting that as well?
Yeah, I was.
Adam, okay.
Can you guys hear me better now?
Oh yeah, you're good. You're good, buddy.
Okay, I apologize.
Oh yeah.
But yes, I definitely put it above American Pickle. in terms of the King on Staten Island, that's tough. I'm torn. I can't put it above just due to the message the King on
Staten Island. I think that's part of it
that goes a long way.
Yeah,
that's fair.
Yeah,
I'm fine with it. I'm not that attached to it. But
Nathaniel, where's your vote going, Nathaniel?
I would argue above Staten Island, but I am fine with it being below it, to be honest with you.
See, for all the shit you talked about this movie, I'm just shocked that it's above Staten Island for you, because I know you weren't in love with Staten Island, but
I like Joseph Gordon-Levitt and I like Jamie Foxx more than I like Pete Davidson.
Oh, let's not get confused. I agree.
Yeah, I would agree. I would agree with that.
Then I would watch that film again, not because and again, I think I'm also basing that a lot too on I've just seen The King of Staten Island, that story, so many times from Judd Apatow in particular. So you, as a younger person who may not have seen it as much, might also gain something a little bit more from it. And I mean, I think, I just think Joseph Gordon-Levitt's also kind of more my generation of acting too, a little bit, and I would rather watch that.
Oh, I love Joseph Gordon-Levitt. I always keep wanting to call him Jason. But yeah, I love Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
But my point is, I'm also fine with it being below Staten Island too. I'm not that tied to it.
Okay, sure. Personally, I definitely don't put this above Staten Island. I'm not saying Staten Island's like the greatest movie of all time, but I still thought it was better than this. As far as American Pickle, I would honestly, yes. I did say that a little bit weird, but between this and American Pickle, I would say I probably enjoyed American Pickle a little bit more, but I didn't dislike this movie, so I'm comfortable putting it above American Pickle, below King of Staten Island, if that's cool with you.
Yeah, I have soured on American Pickle since last week. Blake really convinced me, actually.
Dude, that movie. So, oh man, The Predator is a bad movie.
Oh no!
Here we go.
It's not worse than that, but it's up there.
I'd say it's probably close.
I wish this fire was in you last week. I really enjoyed this. I like Blake getting fired up about it.
Yeah, Blake, you need to bring this.
I think I literally cut that shit off I fell asleep the first time.
Yeah.
Which is so funny.
I get it. It's not for everybody. I just personally enjoyed it a little bit more. So, are we agreed then? Though it seems like the consensus is below Staten Island, above American Pickle.
Yeah. So that's
you're the biggest advocate,
Tyler.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm not like super attached to it. That's why I went just below King of Staten Island, because I knew that's where the majority was going to go anyways. And if you do end up having to look at the reviews, King of Staten Island is a full point above Project Power. So
I think
7.1 versus 6.1.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm not gonna argue with you.
All right,
that's totally fine.
I think that's a good spot to put it then. I think we can all kind of agree there, or at least we're all content with it there, not necessarily our personal picks there. All right, so yeah, Project Power going in below King of Staten Island at spot numbers at 6 now. Yep, 6.
See, and I told you guys last week, there's no way Project Power can be last on the list, and you were all like, "Oh, maybe."
I just said I thought it had a higher chance.
Yeah, I think Tyler's right though. We said it had a shot. But I think after watching it, like we all agreed, the idea of it was really, and that's what puts
the idea was great. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the idea. They do some really cool key things, and Jamie Foxx and Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Yep, 100%. And Dominique Fishback too. I really think she was really good in this. I don't think she was given enough to do. I think the lines that she was given, or her character choices and the writing for her, was very archetypal, stereotypical character, but she played that part well, and that's across all of the characters really. There's no one in this that is acting natural.
Sure. Alrighty, well there you have it for Project Power, everybody. Let's move on to our 5-star review segment. Nathaniel, actually, you know what? Before we get to that, while you pull that up, next week's review. Let's do that first. Let's not forget that again. Next week's review, we're going to be doing Pan's Labyrinth.
Oh yeah,
a personal favorite of both Tyler and Nathaniel.
So if you enjoyed a week of us disagreeing, next week Tyler and I are going in on this one. So
we're gonna agree all the way to the top.
This is Pan's Labyrinth is actually one of the ones I wrote about on my dissertation on. So
Oh, there you
That
go.
should-
Oh yes, I know
Well,
you
then
value it high.
the Nathaniel spiel should be very good.
Yeah.
We'll get some spiel action in there.
Oh, there we go.
You think it has a chance to dethrone the top of the entry list?
Personally, yeah. Well,
It's number one.
Yeah, personally, for sure,
see.
I think it is. We'll
We'll
see
see.
how otherwise. I think
Spoilers.
if I had to do an early prediction, I think Aish is not going to connect with it as much, and then I
Mhm.
think Blake will consider it good but not great, and then I think Tyler and I will definitely be fighting for this one.
Well,
Yeah.
tune in next week to see how accurate Nostradamus over there is. It is streaming on Netflix. I just checked. I was concerned for myself, and I
Hey,
thought I was
that is
streaming on
awesome.
Okay, cool.
So apparently, it's streaming on Netflix.
What would my Nostradamus?
Nostradamus, Nathaniel Nostradamus.
And correct me if I'm wrong, because I haven't seen that movie in a long time. That entire movie's in Spanish.
It is in Spanish.
I watched it in my Spanish class in high school, so I got to watch it.
06.
Alrighty. All right. 5-star review. Nathaniel, take that away.
Yes. So if this is your first time listening to the show, you can rate us on iTunes and Apple Podcast. If you give us a 5-star review, and only if you give us a 5-star review, I will read the review live on air, which I'm going to do in a few moments. And well, there's always another little bit of this. Oh, it can say anything you want. It could be nice. It can be mean. It can be funny. It can be whatever you want it to be, but it has to be 5 stars for you to hear it. So this week we do have a new one. The headline is subbed versus dubbed, and it is from "Is Luna a Ravenclaw?" ? And the rating is 5 stars. I'm disappointed this was even a conversation, as subbed is the only answer. Regardless, love the diverse movie genre interest among the group. Movie backlog is now at an all-time high! !
Oh, there we go.
P.S. 12 Years a Slave deserve the win at NS Gingrich.
Ooh, that was my brother's opinion, and my brother's best friend who works in works in Hollywood, works in the movie industry, loves Gravity. It's his favorite movie of all time, and would 100% agree with your take on that.
But your brother thinks that 12 Years a
My
Slave.
My brother and my brother's best friend, who's really into movies and works in the industry, they both agree with you on that. So this is the brother you're fighting. Yes, they agree with you.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay.
They both like Gravity over that.
Yes. Thank you. I appreciate that. But I believe I actually know who that is. That is my roommate who got married this past weekend. So,
there we go. Congratulations.
He's having a little bit of a go at me there because he knows that I've been fighting that battle for years. But
you're not the only one.
Joe. Congratulations, Yuka. He's going sub versus dub because his wife is also Japanese. So I think is why.
Are they big anime or no?
Oh, she is for sure, and he does as well. Yeah, he's learned a lot of the language from anime for sure.
Well, congrats.
Yeah. Congrats, buddy. I hope Nathaniel didn't.
Congrats, Joe. Congrats, Yuka.
Congrats.
Of course I didn't mess it up. Are you kidding? I killed it.
I killed it.
I'm the hottest minister of all time.
There you go. There you go. All right. Well, that's going to be it for episode number 10. Share the podcast, people. Please, please, please. If you have a friend, if you have family that you think like this podcast, please give it to them. Please do it. If you want to follow if you want to follow us on Twitter, we're at Banter Row. On Instagram, we are Back Row Banter. On YouTube, we're also Back Row Banter. Please go subscribe to YouTube, even if that's not your destination of choice for listening. Please go subscribe there. We would much appreciate it. It's free. Why not?
Maybe video someday.
We might do video soon. We'll see. And then if you want to contact us for any questions, concerns, comments, grievances, we are at backrowbanterpod@gmail.com. Send us a message. We're still I got the mailbox empty, or it's full of Miles Teller and other spam and shit like that. It's just we need some listeners in there.
Just keeping them on the back burner.
Yeah,
we want to hear from you folks.
We want to hear from you guys. Blake, where can the people find you at?
Letterboxd, the first and last name, BlakeHolder. Some stuff I did recently on VHS on the second.
You're cutting in a lot of it. Cutting in and out of there.
Blake, I think you need to be a little bit closer, bud.
Or closer, or a little bit louder.
Yeah.
I feel like the mic is right in my face.
I know that's how it's supposed to be. I'm breathing.
Okay. Breathing. Fair enough. Letterboxd is the first and last name, BlakeHolder. I'll be on there logging some stuff. I logged the obviously the 2 VHS movies on there as well. Did a quick project. That's about it for me.
Alrighty.
On to Nathaniel.
Yeah, Nathaniel.
Right.
Well, you can go Nathaniel first. Go for it, Nathaniel.
Popcorn.
No, popcorn,
Blake,
Nathaniel.
Blake Popcorn me.
Okay, go for
you
it.
can find me, folks, on Twitter and Letterboxd at NSGingrich, just like Joe shouted out in the Apple Podcast review. That is at NSGingrich. And you can also find me on Instagram at NathanielG92. That is NathanielG92. Come hang out, say hi, like my stuff, laugh at my jokes, or don't. Do what you want.
You're so funny.
Ha!
Thank you. Thank you, team.
You're welcome.
Love you, bro. Ty?
Sometimes I Twitch stream. That's El Trabajo 87. ELTRABAJO 87. And then you can find me at Instagram, Letterboxd, and Twitter at Tyler Vidalis. VIDALES.
Am I pronouncing it wrong? Is it Vidalis or Vidalis? You always say Vidalis. Is that just an emphasis thing sometimes?
It's only because people are like, how do you say it? It's Vidalis.
It is Vidalis.
Yeah.
But you just like saying Vidalis, of course.
I think it's just so people understand it more. Because
Sure.
a lot of time if I say it the way I say it, the common misconception is V's or B's. So I have to really emphasize the V. It's not more of the I. It's just because there's an I at the end of a V sound, kind of. So yeah, it's just yeah. You get it. There you go.
No, I get it.
Little
This is
background on my name.
linguistics with Tyler.
Yeah. And then, of course, if you want to follow me, I am at amschwartzy on Twitter. And then I'm on Twitch and Letterboxd at Aish. That's AYYSH. But thank you guys for listening to episode number 10. We're in the double digits. Double digits, baby. It's only up from here. Only up from
D's on that bitch.
Thank you all for listening. We'll catch you next week for Pan's Labyrinth. We'll BRB.
Appreciate you guys.
You're talking too quietly, Nathaniel. You gotta speak up on this BRB.
BRB.
There we go. Ty,
BRB, baby.
BRB.
America. Ready for another lesson.
Hey, tell your roommate I'm done fighting your brothers. I'm fighting him this week.
Nathaniel is no longer fighting my brother. He's going to be fighting you. He said, "Excuse me,
bitch."
Say you heard me,
bitch.
He said you heard me.
Yeah.
And then Tyler added bitch.
Let him know I did not bring the bitch talk into that. That was all Tyler.
Nathaniel would like it to be known that Nathaniel talk in. It was Tyler.
I respect him as opponent and as a combatant. If not for him, these things couldn't happen.
He respects you as an opponent and as a combatant, because without you, things like this cannot happen. But
I would disagree on like Conor McGregor. I'll just fuck
Tyler.
We're not here to take part. We're here to take over.
Are you guys ready to start?
That was bad. That was really bad.